Don't do anything that's not going to make you enough per day to make it worth the effort. The same amount of effort is needed to do a $200 a day product and profit and a $20 a day product and profit. There's a little bit more capital usually, but usually the same amount of effort. So you want to put in that effort and make sure that you're leveraging that effort into higher profits. I want you to be thinking about, how can I put these products together into a brand that makes sense? You really need to understand how hard this business is and really commit to it. The other thing is set a profit goal, right? So set your profit target on a daily basis and then work backwards. Don't do anything that's not going to make you enough per day to make it worth the effort. You can walk the process. You can learn how to do things with a smaller product, maybe something in that range, but don't do something that's only going to make you $10 or $20 a day. That's just going to become a headache over time. Really, the same amount of effort is needed to do a $200 a day product and profit and a $20 a day product and profit. There's a little bit more capital usually, but usually the same amount of effort. So you want to put in that effort and make sure that you're leveraging that effort into higher profits. So the strategy is you want to be thinking about a brand, not a product. So once you do a bunch of dives, I want you to be thinking about, how can I put these products together into a brand that makes sense? And then really thinking about the branding perspective. What does the long-term roadmap of that brand look like? Who's your audience and your avatar? What other products do they want and need? And then how can you start to shape that? And then start to go dive those other products when you start to think about it. When you really identify who your audience is and what they're using something for, you can go ask ChatGPT, what are 40 more products that would make sense as brand affiliate products or products in the same brand as this product? Or that what other products do this audience need? Give me 40 ideas or 50 ideas. Give me 50 more, give me 50 more. And then now you have 150 products to go dive, right? It's really that simple. So you can really go down the rabbit hole using AI for product ideation. The other thing that we spoke about is why products fail, and budgeting was one of the biggest ones. So determining how much capital you have and being able to work backwards from that, super important. A lot of people will bite off more than they can chew. They will start a product that they run out of inventory constantly and the product dies. They don't have enough. So really understand how to calculate, landed cost and what your total budget requirement is. Inventory cycles are needed. So you can go through and you can look at that matrix, but you need to know the lead times and the shipping times so you can understand how much money is really needed. Pricing, don't sell things under $10, super expensive, super difficult, fast moving usually, but you're making so little money that a tariff, an increase in shipping costs eat away all your profits immediately. So it's really, really tough. The high risk categories we spoke about, what to avoid. The Me Too products, don't do them. The whole reason we took this class is so that we can learn how to create custom products. And the seasonal products you can do, but just be careful because you have to be thinking about when it's actually going to land, how much inventory you're going to need, when the demand curve happens, and then when it runs out. You don't want to be stuck with a bunch of inventory. So understand what the seasonality is and what the demand is in the off season. We talked about, we showed you how to do product ideation and then vetting different products, differentiations, using AI, keyword diversity, the pricing. So you can verify that the product that you found based on the competitors and how well they're doing, that actually fits your budget. Because a lot of times we'll find that guy that fits our budget, if we're using Jungle Scout, for example, but then they're the 10th bestseller or the 15th bestseller. And actually we're good enough to be the 3rd or 4th bestseller, but that would require triple the budget. We just don't have it, right? So make sure that you understand that once you do that initial dive right away, that you can quickly validate whether it fits your budget, because that's the first checkbox. If it doesn't fit your budget, move on to the next product quickly. This is a numbers game and you got to be efficient.
Hold on. I've literally helped hundreds of people become millionaires selling on Amazon, and I want you to be next. Check out the free masterclasses below. You need to be there. I'll see you there.
Quality control is another big thing. Make sure you get inspections. You can lose all of your money in inventory or really kill a product and lose your capital if you get some negative reviews right away, if they deliver a faulty product. So make sure you're doing that. And then IP, do your homework. It's another way you could lose. We spoke about how to deep dive the niche, looking at the, going into the data, how to clean up the master keyword list to make sure it's only including keywords that you can get sales from, how to add keywords to it, leveraging AI in the algorithm so that you can have the AI tell you potentially how to make the product better. We spoke in detail about variation strategies and why they're so important, and then to be aware of niches where all the competitors have variations and you are trying to enter it without them. That's very, very dangerous. We also spoke about, the seasonality and the trends. And then on the scorecard, we spoke about like the risk assessment, the risk tiers, and how to navigate the risk of the product, and then how to actually score it and the different ways to score it. So this was all of day 1. And then in day 2, we have our review. I want you guys to review that. And then on day 3, we have the sourcing. So we're picking the pick view results when we're incorporating that feedback, and then we're going to go back and we're going to create the requirements for the factories. We were lucky that we had, a great walkthrough on, I was able to go back and watch it around how to initiate searches from either images or keywords. And then Axio is their new beta AI, which is cool. Prioritize the verification. So like make sure that they're actually, verified suppliers with the right badges. They're legitimate, but you do have trade assurance. So you have the protection there as well. Check the suppliers, their experience, make sure another thing that I saw that wasn't really pointed out here, but another tip that I want to throw in there is that I want a supplier that is selling all of the same type of product, right? To me, it's a warning sign. Either that they're a broker or they're not specialized if they've got a bunch of different types of products, meaning they've got a plastic product, they've got molded products, they've got assembled products, right? If they're all like the same material type, but they're similar in nature, I feel much more comfortable with that. So go look at their storefront, go look at what they're actually selling. You don't want someone with too much diversity. It's a little weird. To me, that's a warning sign. I usually avoid those guys.